up? We're the Freestyle Freaks on HamiltonRadio.net. I'm Ralphie Rotten, also known as DJ Noise, and this is Billy the Kid, the comedian. What is up? How you been, man?
Great. Awesome. Good.
What the hell kind of reply is that?
Because that's just how it's been. It's been great. It's been awesome. It's been good.
Three. He gave me three answers.
Yeah.
One word answers.
That's right.
Great, awesome.
Because all of them come with their own definition of my experiences. Great, awesome, and good.
So you got to leave the state a little bit.
Yeah, that was the good. That was the good part. I went down.
So every time you need to. Every so often you need to get out of town.
Yep, went to Virginia. Well, guess where I went? We'll get into that later. Virginia Beach. But I went down to Virginia, man. I had a good time with the family, man. One of my relatives celebrated one of her milestone birthdays. I think she might have hit 100. She might be 100. So we went down there, celebrated, kicked it with the family. So that was the good part. So what did I say? Great, awesome, and good. The great part was that I wound up getting the show with Michael Blackson.
That's pretty.
Yeah. And I ain't have to reach out to them.
I seen that. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, they reached out to me.
I was like, yo, he's like.
Bruh, shout out to that.
He's real deal. He's legit. Like,
yeah. So shout out to him. His peoples reached out to me, inbox, I thought it was a joke.
Man.
I thought it was a joke at first. So we did great. We did good. The awesome part, I can't wait to get to. I hit 10 years clean of recovery.
Congrats.
Long
congrats,
way
congrats.
coming, man.
Congrats.
Oh man, huge milestone. I'm still celebrating that. In recovery, like you don't just celebrate that in particular day. Like you
celebrate every day of your life.
Well, yeah. Basically, I still got a celebration coming up where I'm going to be honored the 10-year medallion. Still.
Yeah, congratulations, Billy.
Thank you, Ruben.
But you still ugly.
So I'm doing that Wednesday. Out the Wilford Center, out White City in Hamilton. If anybody, definitely want to, come support, man, stop through. So that was great, awesome, good. I told you when I said, now listen.
No, I definitely seen the pictures of Virginia.
Yeah,
I definitely seen.
That was good. With Michael Blackson. That was great, and my recovery was awesome.
Yeah, I definitely seen the recovery. So I mean, it's the last
I
2
told
weeks,
you.
You've been legitimately.
Moving,
busy.
Productive, man. And that's why when I said it, I was like, great, awesome, good. I said every last one of those words come with their own experience. And to have them all combined together, this what I'm gonna be real about. It's the gift and the curse, because all of that together builds up my anxiety. A lot of people don't know this, but anxiety is real. You know what I'm saying? Anxiety is right there with, depression. Like they're pretty much neck and neck. And too much anxiety, isn't good. To be all wound up.
Too much of everything is bad.
Exactly. So like my body might be standing still.
Your life and everything in moderation.
Plenty of days. Plenty of days. Like I've even came
Don't
in here.
stress too much. You can stress a little bit.
Like I'm going through.
A little stress is good, but not too much.
Right. But that's the thing. You can't really control it. You don't know when it's going to come on. There is no warning with anxiety.
I've been there a couple times. I'm not prone to get.
I hate it.
Sometimes it happens. I think we all probably get them occasionally.
Of course, we're
human.
We all experience depression. We all experience anxiety, man. Like if I could just take it out and I feel like that's why I need the shows. That's why
Me, you notice I don't have a lot of grades. My philosophy is don't stress about nothing. Because if you stress about everything, that's
the Virgo in me.
That's the thing. If you stress about something, it ain't gonna make it any better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta deal with it as it comes. That's how I see it.
For real.
Because I know this because I'm married to a woman that stresses about everything. So shout out to Linda. But she does. She stresses about every little last thing. So
word.
I can't. Listen. I stress about different things.
I got a question. Like when she's going through it and like she's stressing and like going back and forth, does that somehow like kind of rub on you? So it's like if she's like kind of wound up, do you get wound? Yeah,
I try to encourage her. Say, listen, let it go. Let's just think positive. Because thinking negative is not going to make it any better.
Yeah, I like your mindset.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm always the calm. Like, I'm always the calm one, like, in everything. Like, I'm always, like.
I try.
When her water broke for little Ralph, she was like, "Oh my God, I'm scared," and I'm like, "Listen, we got this."
I know that helped out tremendously.
I was like, "Yo, we got this."
Yeah. That just helped me calm down. So.
Like, yo, and it's just, it's, I don't know, I don't say it's confidence. It's just, I don't think it's, I think it's just, like, I just realized, stressing about something is never going to make it any better. Like, when I was growing up, and I was a kid, I didn't have, like, the best childhood, like, I've had, it was a roller coaster. My childhood was a roller coaster.
Right.
It was something that, it was an experience that I don't wish for, it wasn't the perfect. And like I said, I don't wish it.
Like, only you could walk that path.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, you wouldn't want to put those shoes on nobody else.
I was the only one that was built for my life.
Word.
And, I'm not trying to get deep, but it's like.
I believe it. Had you went any other way, it would
I
have been wrong.
experienced things in life that I'm like, yo, if I can go through this, I can face this. If I went through that, I can go through this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they say, these are the as you go older, these are the harder days. Right. But I feel that as a child,
you went through the storm.
I went through the storm.
Word.
And now I'm just enjoying life. Now I'm just living life. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people miss that point. Like the older people get, it get harder. But when you went through that shit young,
people don't know. But
only hope for better days.
I don't talk too much about this, but for those who know, like, my father was a heroin addict. You know what I'm saying? My mom wasn't perfect. We didn't have money. We were poor. We didn't have TV. We didn't have electric at one time. I grew up without phones. So when we were doing that, I'm such old. I was like the first one in my high school class to have a cell phone.
Yeah.
But I was probably the first one to not have color TV. You know what I'm saying? Or not have electricity to live through it. So that's how that's how I see things. Like, I've been through so much. As an adolescent, as an underage, as a child, as a teenager, as a preteen, I went through so much. I went through so much that I could write a book 100%. And I guarantee you it'd be probably a #1 seller.
But before you write that book.
But I'm still writing chapters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm still, so I can't, and I feel that I'm living the best life. Today I was thinking, all the roles that I lived in life, I did it as this, I did it as that, and I'm blessed. I'm living an amazing life. I'm blessed with 2 kids. I'm blessed with a wife. I'm blessed with a house. I'm blessed with a job. I'm blessed with, a,
Did you mention
DJ career.
Your anniversary, or we had that week off?
I had the week off.
Yeah, happy belated anniversary.
We just came up to 12 years. It's not always peaches and cream, or
It just hit me.
It's not always strawberries and bananas, or it's not always.
Clap it up for that.
It's not always hot chocolate, or
What is it? 12 years?
12 years.
Sheesh.
It's not. Listen, it's not always. It's not always peanut butter and jelly, but listen, it's work. It's whoever said marriage was easy, they lied. Because it's work.
Got a decade and a half.
Listen, we have been through some. Our marriage hasn't been the perfect thing. There's been times that we were separated in life. But for our children, we made it work. And we continue to make it work. We have a crazy relationship. It's insane. We got a
the chemistry is just
we got an actress, little daughter that we're constantly taking her to rehearsals. Sometimes it's it's like you have this or that, but you gotta still do this for her. Then you have the baby.
Yes, sir.
That's never wants to be put down. It's always he wants to be in the arms. If one leaves the room, he cries. If the other leaves the room, he cries. So it's like
a lot of people don't know that struggle, man. Like to get like fresh off work and then like have an event or something to go to, even though that you like deep down like you don't want to do it.
I've done it,
but for the cause,
there was times.
Gotta go.
There was times where I worked like a 12-hour, 15, maybe 13-hour shift, you know, and then turned out, went home, changed, showered, loaded up the equipment or something, and then did another 6 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been there. You know, I've been there. Then come home and do the family thing. You know, like.
I just had to today, just now, before I came here.
Listen,
I had a long day at work, and then I had to go to Brianna's thing at her school.
It's work. I mean, but you know, back to the stress thing. It's just positive thinking. You know, just positive vibes. Just constantly be positive. Think, you know, I compared life today. Two different lives. You know, people scrap for metal, and I'm thinking, man, you know, I could find a lot of metal if I go scrap. Then I realized, in like third world countries, okay, the scrapping is the most savage way of. I'm not saying it's savage. It's just it is savage. There's there's children that's as young as 7 years old and 18 years old working in these third world, I guess these, maybe we'll call them galleys or, these beaches where it's just a ton of trash, okay? This is real shit. This is real deep shit. Where the kids are barefooted, they're burning plastic, rubber wire, plastic wire to get the copper, just so they can get 10 cents a day, so they can feed their families. So like, I'm comparing a scrapper's life in America lives high life, okay, lives rich compared to the children that are out there suffering just to inhale all like those chemical fumes, okay, in this third world country, just to get a couple cents.
Trying to get a couple of cents off of Earth's resources to get some currency, which is also an Earth resource, to buy some food, which is also an Earth resource.
And the reason why that happens is because, like, 80%, we'll say 70% of the world's trash, like electronic trash, ends up in Africa.
Right.
Okay.
The clothes and stuff too.
Ends up in Africa because Africa is not a developed country, so they can't develop their own appliances. They can't develop. I mean, maybe they do, but they don't.
A lot of the stuff be years. They
don't have the capacity to do more. So like cars are shipped. You can ship a junk car over there, and they'll buy it from you because their parts are worth more than the car.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the metal, it's insane. I mean,
you know what Africa doesn't need though? Antifreeze.
Antifreeze, right?
Because none of the cars like really have antifreeze because it's always hot, so you ain't got to worry about cold temperatures. A lot of cars really go off water.
I just wanted to point that out. Like, no.
I'm
constantly like,
that's something to be grateful for. So.
I'm constantly, I'm constantly researching different things, and I stumble upon things like that, and I'm like, damn, I got it good. Like.
That's one of the remedies that help. Like as far as like anxiety and stuff, like dabbing, like in the books. I'm constantly
doing it.
Research and help, like real, like
constantly
real stuff,
doing it, man. It's
stuff.
like it's
that's one of the remedies, man. Like I bury myself.
Maybe I research more as an adult and in my age right now because, I have the kids, I have the wife, I have the job, I have the house. That's my extra. Those are like my hobbies, just to read or research. Something that just comes to mind.
Yeah.
It's insane. Yeah. My weekend, we can go on for days about stuff like this.
Oh yeah.
My weekend was chill. I went to a wedding on my wedding anniversary. I went to a friend of mine's wedding.
How about that?
That is the wedding that I was supposed to try to DJ at, remember that we talked about the job.
Yeah.
So that what happened to work out to where I was at the wedding. Congrats to Mike and Crystal on their marriage.
Congratulations.
You've probably seen a couple pictures. My boy DJ Iron Mike DJ'd it. Did an excellent job. It was just I seen some of my friends there. It was just a great time. Everything about it was just chill. It was just so good. So it was such a great time.
Went to a wedding on your wedding anniversary.
Yeah, and we got to dance to our song, so that was cool.
Nice.
The next day, I think I went to the pool, where the wife posted the picture of a little Ralph on my chest. Just sit there chilling, and it was just the moment. It was just relaxing,
Hey, if you could ask my little Ralph, what you chilling? I can't call it. Just chilling at the pool, man.
But it was and this weekend, I worked a little bit. It was an eventful weekend.
Word.
Up and down, it was chill. It was highs and lows, but it was chill. It was
especially coming off of a week off of the show. So that was good. That our experiences in between that, couldn't complain about.
It was it was hectic. Being gone for an extra week. Mm-hmm. It's like you tend to, I don't know if you tend to miss things or, pile up on current events. I read a story about a homeless guy. Okay, we were talking about homeless. So how. Remember, I was comparing. Okay, I'm gonna get really deep with you here.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I was comparing. Okay, the life that as a scrapper, as what if I was scrapping, to a life where a child is in Africa in the most unhealthiest area in the world, where people only live to their 40s, contract cancer. They don't even know it. The numbers you don't even know the
statistics.
Statistics.
Yeah.
Well, and back in America, the homeless thing is just as bad, because some of these people don't have hope. But here's where it gets crazy. That recently a kid named Damon Shealy Giuseppe heard about a workout in the NFL with the Cleveland Browns. This is a true story. Okay, this guy was a homeless guy. Homeless guy had nothing in his pocket. Heard, he was staying at gyms, 24-hour gyms to survive. So he always had so he overheard one of his peers talk about this workout. He says, "You're not even invited." He was like, "Don't worry about that. I'm going to make that workout."
Right.
So he lied to the personnel. Said, "Listen," he's like, "I know this guy, blah, blah, blah." So he did all the research. So he knew enough about it. So when he seen him, he quickly ran up to him and said, "Hey, I'm such and such. I'm just here for the workout." So kind of when people seen him, he's, so he ran the dash. I don't know what dash it was. I didn't get the
40 yard.
Probably 40. I don't know if you heard about the story.
Yeah. Oh no, I ain't heard about the story.
But okay. So good. So back to so he lies to the personnel to get onto the field to practice. So he gets to try out. And he bedazzles them, bro. He ran dash in 8 point something minute. It was just they blew him away. He blew them away. They're like, "Yo."
Yeah, if I could assume he did a 40-yard dash, probably ran it in 3 something.
Four something. We'll say if the average is 12, maybe 11 or 10. I don't know. I've been so long since I ran a dash and been timed and knew how fast I need to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't look at that. But they seen it. and they seen how fast he was, and then he told the story, and then they're like, "Yo, you're coming back." Yeah. So isn't that crazy? I mean, I think he might get signed. He's, there's 53, I think 52, 53 players on the roster right now, and the wide receiver core is talented. We know the Browns have upgraded. They got Beckham from the Giants. They got some other players. Him making the team is slim.
I don't know if he's fast. All depending on his height. Run him as a halfback, fullback.
But is it an insane story? You remember the story about the Invincible with the Eagles? He was a walk-on, and I don't know if you've seen that movie, The Invincible. Vince Papale.
No.
Oh my God, you gotta see that.
Just
movie.
Walked on and just blew him away.
Walked on and blew him away, and he made it to the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, keeping it real.
So
the
I mean,
Rock,
I hope
like that.
I hope he makes it. I hope this kid makes it. Got to root for him. It's a good story.
So too. I hope
it's tiring to read. Unfortunately, we always got to talk about these things. Over the course of these 2 weeks, unfortunately, in current events has been insane. Yeah. In our city.
Yep.
I don't even know how I don't even know how to speak about that. It's just I don't. There's a lot of tragedy, a lot of pain. You know what I'm saying? For that magnitude of people to get hurt, to get shot at, to make it all over the world, okay? For the government to to say to bring in the feds, we're on a whole different level. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah, man. We was up to our second mass shooting. Mass
in days.
Yep.
It's like my prayers go out to the families.
It's exhausting.
All the families, involved. My prayers go out to the police that have to work it. Because people don't understand that.
Newark is bringing in some cops.
When there's that many people, it's an investigation. It takes time. It takes weeks.
Yep.
They're still investigating. They probably, if they don't have a suspect yet, they're still looking. They're working. And when you bring the FBI, you bring the state police, you got more eyes, but it becomes, a bigger issue.
The crazy thing is that I was at 2 locations actually that were in the melee, doing my deliveries. And one of the locations, establishments that I went in, had the string of bullet holes in the door. I posted it on Facebook, and it's like,
I think I've seen it.
And like you relive what happened, and like you relive what these people thought, what they felt. Like you almost like run a movie inside your head. I'm sitting there talking to the bartender, and I'm like, "Were you working?" He was like, "Yeah." And that's crazy. That stuff is common. It's like that's.
But I don't want to interrupt you real quick, but I just have to add that this is the third such incident that's happened in a year. Remember, the arts all night.
Yeah.
And these 2 in just weeks.
It's been 757 mass shootings this year across America.
Yeah, there was one in West Virginia, right where you were at.
Oh man,
Virginia Beach.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
Like, how is it that?
That's crazy.
How is it that you go down? You're from here. You know what's going on out here. You go down there, get up, and then that happens.
You want to hear something crazy? Dig this. As I'm leaving town, okay, a lot of this stuff is fresh. With the mass shootings and everything was fresh. Before I even got down to Virginia, my mom wound up having to go to the hospital. She had a dizzy spell. I mean, to put her business out there like that, everything worked out fine. But what happened is that my sister and them were following the ambulance to the hospital. Now my niece goes in. She's wondering why my sister and them haven't made it in. So she went out in the hallway and talked to a nurse and was like, "My family's outside. They need to come in." And they told them, "Your family can't come in because the hospital is on lockdown." And the 15-year-old boy had got shot. It was already a mass shooting that night. a party had got shot. I'm like, you can't be serious. I left Trenton, came to Virginia, and the same exact atmosphere was down there. Hospital on lockdown, party just got shot up, 15-year-old fighting for his life. And then
anywhere you go, it's the same. You know, it's
I don't
sad.
know. I don't know why people don't get that. People don't get that, man. Forget my city, man. My city ain't this. My city ain't. Yeah,
listen, wherever
that's
you move,
crazy.
It's potentially, you know,
and people
can happen anywhere.
And they don't get it. They don't get it. Okay, so go down to South Carolina. Go down to Atlanta.
This is the life that. This is
it's American culture. It's American culture, man.
Right
that America is in love with their guns. You know, everyone is protected by amendments.
No, I don't necessarily think that. I think that half are in love with the guns and use them appropriately. Okay, because there's people that
gun enthusiasts.
There's law-abiding citizens that own guns and do it right. There's cops that, you know, are gun enthusiasts. That half. Then you got the other half that's broken up into different.
That come in the forms of regular civilians and cops, because even cops can use their weapons wrong.
But you have different.
Military people can use it. It's a mind state that's behind this stuff.
But I don't think it's just that. I mean, you know, you have when you take this half, you cut it in half to where some use it for protection, some use it for the wrong reasons. And you cut those wrong reasons, okay. Some of that in that wrong reasons, they're fueled by what's going on in the media. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, back in the day, we didn't have this like this. It has to be. It's got to be. The more hatred that you see on the media, in the media, the more stuff you eat.
Gives you a paranoia.
It gives you a paranoia. It gives you a different mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, oh my God.
And to sit there and watch the news all day, every day.
It's a repetitive newsreel of the same stuff over and over again.
Yep.
Listen, if you tell me that you're gonna put constant terror, constant, you know, negativity on in the media, and you got people of all ages watching this, then you don't give the people that are watching this any kind of simple. No nothing. No kind of type of hope, no life, you know. So they're gonna see this over and over again.
Yep.
If you just put something positive, guess what? You break that cycle.
Mm-hmm.
But until we can learn to break away from media, like, you know, electronics, I think that's what it is. Because listen, Columbine was right at the end of the 90s.
Yeah, but then you just had the most recent, not too far away from Columbine, inspired by Columbine.
Yeah.
And those kids wound up, you know, getting caught. You know, you had a couple of kids, you know, one kid that sacrificed his life to tackle one of the kids, and like you see them, and then like all of a sudden, like they got the remorse in their eyes, and you know their lawyers speaking up for them, and now they're gonna like try to plead insanity.
No, it's not gonna work.
You know their ages, like consider their age.
Every single
they were bullied. No one understood them.
Nobody's gonna buy that bullshit. I'm sorry. You know what?
Not this time around. Not this time around.
After, you know, we have had thousands of mass shootings.
At schools, everything.
We're a time. We're past that to where you can't. We're past that where, oh, I was bullied. You can't use that no more. I'm sorry, you can't. You just can't. You just can't.
Yeah, why you ain't just tell a teacher? Why you ain't get transferred to another school?
You know, in a time we live in, that bullying is it's an epidemic as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know where to tell people. You know how to tell people. You know, I can't say, hey. All it does is open your mouth, speak. You know, I got bullied. Listen, I got bullied as a kid, and sometimes, you know, what happened to me was a little light turned on in my head and said, you know what, let's start kicking people's asses.
Yep.
That's
Same here.
That's exactly what I did.
Same here. You get tired of being sick and tired.
You get tired of getting.
You learn the art. You learn the art of fighting.
Yeah, you know, and you know.
Or you click up, you get a crew. You get a crew that, like me personally, like I ain't like bullies. You know what I mean? And I didn't care about sitting at the table with the so-called nerds that nobody, you know, wanted to sit with, or you know, treated.
I got to sit next to.
That's why my jokes. I
had a good table.
Yeah.
I sat with a lot of girls.
My freshman year.
True story.
My freshman year.
True story. Y'all remember. If you girls remember the table that was at, y'all remember.
But that's why my jokes are so good though, because I would get bullied with words. Like the clothes I was wearing weren't up to par, or my shoes had a hole in them, and I wanted to fight, but I realized I'm like, I can't swing on this person because all they're using is words. And I got on myself. I said, okay, I got to be able to beat them at their own game. I got to talk louder than them. I got to talk faster than them. I got to beat them to the punch. Corey Henley, rest his soul, man. And, he was my biggest bully then. And when I fought back for myself, and I beat him that day, and that's what gave him the respect. Like, we wound up becoming friends. We wound up becoming cool. But from that point on, it's like once those gates opened up, there was no closing them. And I would use it for the greater good. I wouldn't use it to mess with the new kid. I wouldn't use it to mess with the small kid. And anybody else that did, I messed with them.
You remember, we were in a clique to where it was all the degenerates, all the, not the bad kids, but not the good kids.
Yep.
We had a clique, and it was,
I could run.
We were one of the most diverse crew. I mean,
I could run some names down, but a lot of these guys are older with kids and all types of stuff.
Everybody of different nations. I mean, it was just a chill clique. It was just a chill clique.
Yeah.
And that's how I met you.
I'm grateful for all of those experiences.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
Yep. And like, you see a lot of these people now, and you see them, and they're like pushing strollers, like they're married, and
they're cops now.
Yeah, it's just like you. it's like you're trying to explain to their kids, like, you'd never know how your daddy was, or how wild your mom was, or
my daughter hears it. My daughter hears it every so often. They're like, "Yo, honey, your father was insane."
My kids are finding out. Like, my daughter asked me if I ever got arrested, and she would kind of look and got quiet. She was like, "Yes," and they were shocked. Like, "Daddy got arrested, like in handcuffs, like in the back of a car, like you had to go to the station." It was like, okay, I gotta remind myself that you guys are strangers to my life.
I don't know if I told my daughter this. I don't know if she knows, but yeah, I've been arrested. Nothing wrong with it.
And guess what? When you tell them that, they're not gonna believe. They didn't believe me. They was like, "No, you didn't. You didn't get arrested." And like, we had to sit down and have a talk. There was no jokes, no laughing. Like, no, I did. Now they want to know more. Like, what? Wow. How? When? What did you do? And oh man, I mean, I let them in briefly, but then it stopped. But like, if they ask me those questions,
they look at you differently. Like, yeah,
yep.
Daddy don't play. Daddy don't play.
It's grown people that I have to convince about my recovery, which I don't have a problem saying. It's
sometimes that, I have to remind people, that, I'm now a father.
Yeah. A lot of people don't believe me.
I got a house, I got a job.
When I tell them what I
do regular things.
There's people I can never convince the extent of what I did out there and drugs and drink and like all of that stuff. Like, when I tell them that stuff, they're like, "No, you didn't." Like, "No, not you," because they only know to me what it transformed into. There are people who literally don't believe me. I could show them all the key tags in the world. I could show them medallions. I could take them to a meeting with me. They're like, "You're lying." "No, you didn't." Okay. Like, all right. But that's a good thing. That's a real good thing, because it told me that I changed. I'm solidified in who I am. A lot of people, and I had one dude tell me recently, he was like, "The reason I can't take you seriously is because you're a comedian." And he was like, I never know when you're joking or when you're serious. And I haven't convinced him. He's not convinced that that's what I did. And that's how I did it. He's not convinced at all.
Listen, the greatest thing is that you don't need to convince anybody. You know what I'm saying? You've already convinced yourself. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's that right there.
I tried. I attempted to, because mind you, I'm only telling you about me. Like you asked. Matter of fact, I gave him a ride. And he looked down at the seat, and he didn't understand what the NA stuff was. He was like, "You in NA?" He was like, "What are you, a cop or something?" I was like, "That's not hardly how it works at all." So I had to explain to him what NA was, and he was like, "You got to meet it? Oh, so like you recovering?" He was like, "From what?" And I was like, "Everything." He was like, "As in?" I'm like, "The question is, what didn't I do?" But when I went into the stories, which I'm not going to do now, when I went into the stories over like what I used, how I used, and the effects that it had on what I did, he's like, "That was a good one. That was hilarious. Like, you are funny." And I'm like, "Oh, you don't take me seriously?" I'm like, "No, I am so serious. If I can rewind, which I'm not going to, I don't want to. I went through vivid accounts, and I don't let a lot of people in that deep, but he wasn't convinced, and it's like the more he wasn't convinced, the darker my stories got. The deeper I went, the darker they got, and he's like, that? I'm like, yeah, I did that. Nope. He's like, oh no, I really don't believe you. Really didn't believe me, and it's like, matter of fact, Boys in the Hood came on. It was like a commercial for it. My daughter looked at the TV and went, look at Ice Cube trying to act all hard. Because they're used to him from Are We Done Yet? Are We There Yet? They're used to that. Mm-hmm. So when they seen him with the Jerry curl and the Raiders hats and all that other stuff, they literally said, look at Ice Cube trying to act hard. And I couldn't convince them that that's who he was. NWA, straight out of Compton. Oh my gosh, like no Vaseline, America's Most Wanted. I could go on and on and on with Ice Cube's catalog. And I'm not going to show him. If that's the image that you have of Ice Cube, keep it. That's good. But I know how I know Ice Cube. And whenever you want to learn and whenever you want to know and you want to be convinced, let me know. But until then, if that's what you see, I don't want to tarnish that man's image. That's the image that he worked hard for, and that's what he wants for himself. And it's working. But they don't think he's a tough guy.
That I teach Isabella. I taught them about Wu-Tang. Right?
Yeah.
So, Method Man.
Shout out to them in that documentary.
Method Man is Isabella's favorite Wu-Tang Clan member.
Say word. That's my mom's favorite, actually.
And she listens. She likes the one of the newest ones, and she knows. She sings. If it comes on, she sings.
Yo, that would be surreal for me. To just come strolling through and Isabella like with some headphones on and like she's rapping Method Man. I'd stop in my tracks. I would stop in my tracks.
I took a video at one time and I was gonna post it.
Oh boy, if you don't do that, I feel like what you need to do is you need to get her some headphones so that way like the beat and stuff ain't playing. Get some headphones, have her doing the lyrics and just kind of record it and just put the selfie back on yourself like that's Wu-Tang right there. Like when I went to my daughter's event today, a Taylor Swift song came on. And by the time I got done singing the lyrics to it, because I don't even know how I know it, by the time I was done, Sheba and the dude that was sitting behind me and a couple other people were just looking. And it's like, I could feel them looking. They're like, how you know the words? I do. It was a catchy song. It was a catchy tune. And don't be surprised. I know some Taylor Swift. I even know some Jessica Simpson. People like, you don't know no Jessica Simpson until I I seen the lyrics.
All right, calm down with that shit.
Tell me about it. If I could erase it out of my mind, I would, man. You don't know how it is to be pushing the cart in Walmart and the song come on, and like you're singing it, but it's completely like out of your book cover. You know what I mean? Like if it was ever a time to judge a book by its cover, it is now. It's definitely now to look at me and go, look at this black dude with dreads singing Taylor Swift and knows all the words. I don't give a damn. I'm jamming.
They should actually, you know what? You should do a skit of that.
I thought about it today. I actually thought about that. And I'm so serious.
Listen, I said it first.
Yeah, I thought it, but you said it.
Said it
and
first.
we're thinking along the same lines because I lied to you not. I'm like, it briefly went through my head. I was like, that'd be a good skit. Like I'm in the car, like I'm chilling or something. Or I'm even just walking, and I get the cameraman.
You gotta get the Timbs. You know.
Something hard.
You really got. You gotta look like you just walked out of the '90s.
Yeah.
Okay?
I might even.
You might even have the bubble jacket. You know what I'm saying?
I might have to get the hood to back me up on this. Like I might have to go out, to the block, and just step to dudes like, listen, I'm doing this skit.
What they really think I do. What I really do.
Hey, listen, you just pretty much inspired that skit.
Yo.
And I'm telling you, I'm gonna pick the hardest section I could possibly think of. I'm really gonna pick the hardest section. Walk up on them.
You gotta have the kids with you.
Yeah, I could.
So they can, or at least one of the kids, so they can see. Oh, okay, he's sing. Oh, he's with the kids. Oh no, wait. Oh no, wait a minute. You gotta
Hey, listen. And believe it or not, it's a lot of people that's sitting around waiting for like that moment to happen. You know what I mean? Like they want something different from the norm. And I come up there and like, here I come with a cameraman. I'm like, look, I'm doing this skit. You know, I need y'all to kind of, you know, go along with it. Believe it or not, dudes are like, yo, that's crazy. Like, all right. And because as you've seen, I still got to give you my DVD. I gave you my DVD.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, all right. Like from there, I'm walking up on blocks. Like I'm walking up on people and I'm like, yo, I'm doing this DVD. And they just did it out of love. Like, cool, let me spit a couple of bars or let me do it. Yeah, come on in. You know what I mean? Like, and they want that stuff because like they just, other than that, a lot of them just out there, you know, hustling. A lot of them just out there chilling. You know what I mean? Some just, you know, just out the way visiting the family and stuff. And here I come with this camera guy and they like, yo, like what you got going on over there? A little DVD. For what? Our comedy show. Like, yeah, like matter of fact, you know, you know, get on, you know, give a drop or something. And I went section to section to section. Like I went like all four corners. I even went out Southside. Caught all the.
I remember you said that.
Yeah, all the Cherokees, all the Cherokee Jeeps going. I guess they were all getting ready for the parade and everything. Went out North Side, you know. I went out West, pulled up on a section, and that was my goal, to just whip up on everybody and, you know, this something positive. You know what I mean? Like, you know, for a good cause. So don't be surprised, man, if that skit comes to life. You know, and I'm like, you know, I gotta
put me in that shit.
I got to. I gotta give the
put
credit.
Me in that
I gotta
shit.
give the credit for it.
Like yo.
And I want to do a couple of songs like that though. And yo, if somebody else out there know one of those songs, like I'm talking like hard, like I need the hardcore dude. And like
I got you. I already know a couple songs.
Yeah.
I already know a couple songs.
Hey, yo, that's a good skit. And you know what? Like stuff like that is what makes, you know, the internet jump. You know, people just waiting on the internet for like the next laugh. You know what I mean? Or, you know, the next whatever. So, and hey, look, man, and
shout outs,
something
brother.
like that go viral. Man, shout outs to you, definitely, man, for you know, keeping the convo going, man. This was definitely energetic convo. Shout out to Hamilton Radio, Ruben, you know, my girl Karen out there on the wheels, who came in here and told me to adjust my mic.
Right? She came in like yo.
Yeah.
Yo.
She was like,
Get
Billy,
mic out of your
fix
face.
your mic. Yo, she remind me of the ushers that be at church. They're like, spit the gum out. And you try to ignore them, and they just come and open your mouth and take the gum out and go walking back.
When she starts, I was like, is it me?
So
I gotta spit my gum out.
Karen and Ruben on the wheels, man. They doing their thing, man. Shout out to
especially the background music.
Yeah, I don't even know where it came from, but once it came in,
the music like set the tone. You know what I'm saying? Put the vibe, added the vibe to the atmosphere. And
shout out to y'all too.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to you guys.
To all of y'all.
Always tuning in.
Word.
It's a pleasure, you know, to have you guys watch, listen.
I want to turn it up.
Yeah, like what's up with that? You know, it's good.
Usher in church.
Usher.
Hey, nah.
Church.
Hey, she was like, oh, okay, we got wisecracks.
Finger up though. I did not have my finger up.
She's coming after you now.
She had to let you know who really got the juice. She like, I'm controlling these mics right now. As you were saying, I don't want no sauce, Karen. I don't want no sauce.
That was good.
I don't want no smoke. Billy.
Yeah, I'm throwing in the towel.
She put you right in your seat.
Facts. She like, excuse me.
Shout out to Hamilton Radio for giving us this amazing platform. You know, we're 5 years still going straight. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to
that. Still bringing it. Still keeping the conversation relevant.
Gosh, topic
you know
after topic.
Topic after topic.
Subject.
I mean,
everything, man.
I mean, no show is the same. You know,
Yeah.
every conversation is completely different.
Like, you'll think that it wasn't this much to talk about, but we talk about that much.
You know, we talk. Yeah,
we definitely talk about that much.
I mean, I was gonna bring I thought I was gonna bring I'm gonna have a guest tonight, but they could not make it. And I was gonna scramble to try, because I try to do that. I try to get last minute, just to make it roll. You know, I was like, you know what? There's been 2 weeks since we've not been on, so I'm like, we're gonna do this. Talk about whatever we gotta talk about. You know what I'm saying? And we accomplished that. That was a hell of a conversation. You know, this is what we do. If you want to join in the conversation, we're on every Monday night from 9 to 10. We might be a couple minutes late after, setting up the stuff, signing in, the next show moving over. A couple minutes after 9, but that's going to be our mainstay time, And listen, we're just here to have conversations, and give you some current events, give you some, some, I guess, inspirational, whatever, life lessons,
we talk about stuff that keep us out of trouble, because if we wasn't talking about stuff and being productive, we'd probably be in trouble.
Dropping gems, me and him back and forth, it's an amazing thing listen, I'll just re-say that. It's an amazing life that we live, like 100%. I'm so blessed to be here. I get to live a life that not many, get to live. And I listen, shout out to my wife, shout out to my daughter, shout out to my son, shout out to everybody that's a part of my life. Shout out to you, bro. Congrats on, everything. Congrats on, your big thing with Michael Blackson. Congrats on your, 10th year anniversary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
It's hard. It's hard. First of all, it's hard to get to that one year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get to that one day.
Yeah.
You did it for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Now you can do it 20 more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
10 more.
One day at a time. One day at a time.
Man, you know what I'm saying? So,
I
I applaud you, man. Because, listen, some people's battles are not like yours. Some people don't make it. And shout out, my condolences to everybody that's lost through, substance and addiction. It's just sad.
And anybody going through it, like it's hope. Like it's hope. And it's definitely help. You gotta, get up and find it, man. The help ain't just gonna make its way to you. You gotta be sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Gotta have a voice. Gotta be willing to have the voice to say, listen, I need help.
And you gotta be sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah.
Been running till you can't run no more.
I'm gonna leave you with this last word: is just keep fighting and keep living. Keep fighting, keep living. That's the message for tonight. Till next time, we're the Freestyle Freaks on HamiltonRadio.net. One of the top 10 radio stations on the internet in the world. Thank you for listening to us around the world, locally, nationally. We're just two guys just having a conversation with y'all. And thank you for allowing us to come into your life and just talk, shoot the shit with you guys. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to people behind the wheels, Ruben, Karen. Shout out to all of Hamilton Radio. Shout out to all the shows. Again, I'm Ralphie Ryan, also known as DJ Noise. It's Billy the Kid, comedian. And we're out. Until next week. Peace. We're still on. They didn't turn us off yet.
All right, we'll hijack the rest of the show.
We're still on.
A little bit.
I don't think they pay. I don't think they're.
They done walked out on the cigarette break. That's why.
I don't think they know we're. Oh, they know. They got it.
They're like, excuse me.
We're waiting.